Have you ever sat down to study with every intention of finally getting ahead, only to look up 2 hours later and realize you wasted it all? Maybe you've told yourself this semester would be different. Maybe you made a color-coded schedule on Sunday that fell apart by Tuesday morning. Maybe you've watched productivity videos, downloaded habit apps, bought a new planner, and still felt the exact same way, scattered, behind, quietly ashamed. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You're just doing it wrong. Because no one ever showed you the actual system that works with your brain, not against it. This is the story of Elias, a 21-year-old drowning in his own potential, until one conversation changed everything. Stay with me until the end. On paper, Elias was doing fine. In reality, fine was held together with energy drinks, last-minute submissions, and a low hum of dread that never quite went away. Elias Moreno, 21 years old, third-year computer science student. His room. 3 unopened textbooks, 14 browser tabs, a dying succulent on the windowsill. His monthly budget was $900. His scholarship required a 3 GPA. DLR. Last semester, he'd finished at 287. He hadn't told his mother. His mornings, alarm at 7:30, snooze until 8:10, shower skipped, gas station coffee, 11 minutes late to his 9 a.m. lecture, sitting in the back, half listening. By noon, he was in the library. 20 minutes of actual work, 15 minutes on social media, a YouTube detour, then guilt, then a paralysis where he couldn't begin. He had a friend named Daniel who floated through the same program without visible effort. Daniel was always calm. His notes were clean. He never seemed rushed. The thought that came back every night around 1 a.m. while forcing himself to read what he should have read a week ago. What is wrong with me? He wasn't lazy. He worked. He showed up. But he was spending his best mental hours on nothing and doing his hardest work with a completely depleted mind. Nothing was wrong with him. He just hadn't met Professor Reyes yet, and that was about to change on a gray Thursday afternoon in October. His mornings wasted. His evenings exhausted. The same routine repeating, eroding him slowly, the way water shapes stone, invisibly, and then all at once. He had tried, he wanted to change, but wanting and knowing how are two completely different things, and no one had ever shown him the difference. Sunday night. The planner comes out, the schedule gets made, the intention is real. By Tuesday morning, it's already fiction. Folded, forgotten, failed again. 3 energy drinks on his desk, 2 takeout containers on the floor, 1 textbook, open but unread. This was his evening, every evening, going nowhere. Every week, the same cycle. Start strong Sunday, fade Monday, collapse Tuesday, survive the rest. His potential was real. His structure was invisible. That was the problem. He wasn't incapable. He had outscored Daniel on their first exam, but somewhere between first year and now, Daniel had found something Elias hadn't found yet. It happened on a Thursday in October, the kind of gray, flat sky afternoon that makes everything feel slightly worse than it actually is. Elias had just gotten his midterm grade back, a 61. He was sitting in the hallway outside the lecture hall, backpack between his feet, eating a granola bar he'd found at the bottom of his bag. He didn't feel sad exactly. He felt like a version of himself he didn't recognize and couldn't figure out how to stop being. His chest went tight, his jaw clenched. He put his phone face down on the floor. Then his phone buzzed. A photo from his mother of his younger sister holding a school certificate. So proud of my kids. He thought with total clarity. If I keep doing what I'm doing, I'm going to fail out of this program. That was the moment Professor Reyes turned the corner. Professor Adriana Reyes, 54 years old, perfectly upright, silver-streaked hair, in a neat bun, charcoal blazer, eyes that observed more than they revealed. She stopped and looked down at him. "Show me your study schedule," she said. He opened his phone. A color-coded calendar made in September, half-filled, abandoned. She looked at it for a long moment. "You have studying blocked in 5 time slots?" she said. When do you actually study? He answered. Whenever I can, she said. That means never. Whenever I can is not a schedule, it is a hope. Your brain is sharpest in the first 90 minutes after you're fully awake, she said. That is not opinion. That is neuroscience. Most students waste that window entirely on their phones. Think of your day as a battery fully charged when you wake. Social media draws from it. Noise draws from it. Every decision draws from it. Study with the full charge, not the dregs. She took out a small notebook and drew a simple horizontal line with 3 numbers. 6, 7, 30, 9. This is the system, she said. This is not negotiable. 6 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Your hardest subject. One subject only. No music with lyrics. No notifications. No multitasking. 90 minutes of focused, deliberate work. That is hour 1. 7:30 to 8:30. Your body. Eat real food. Move. Followed by. Walk, run, stretch. It doesn't matter. But you must move before your second block. Your body is not separate from your mind. Evenings are for lighter work only. Never introduce new material after 8 p.m. Your brain cannot consolidate genuinely new concepts when mental energy is gone. You are fighting your own biology. Sleep before midnight. Shawl. Every night. Not most nights. Every night. Because none of this system works without a rested brain. Sleep is not your enemy. Wasted evenings are. She stood, looked at him with steadiness that felt like both a challenge and a genuine belief in him. Fix the structure, she said. Then she walked away down the hall. The first morning was an act of will that felt almost physical. He had set his alarm for 5:50 a.m., put his phone across the room. When it screamed, his body responded with hostility. He stood up because he remembered the 61. That number got him out of bed. He sat at his desk at 6:03 a.m. with a glass of water and his textbook open to chapter 7. The silence was strange. The building was quiet. Outside, one car passed. A bird somewhere. He started reading. His eyes burned. His mind wandered. He did not stop. Day 7. His mind whispered, just skip today. One day doesn't break anything. He reached toward the snooze button. Then he stopped, pulled his hand back, sat up. He remembered what she said. Whenever I can means never. He pulled his hand back. He sat up. He went to the desk. He was tired the entire 90 minutes. He still did the work. By week 2, ideas that had slid off his brain in the library at noon were landing, holding, connecting. He was understanding. Not just reading, understanding. The near failure came on day 17. Late shift, home at 11:30, couldn't sleep until 1 a.m. The alarm felt like a physical insult. He lay there. His hand moved toward snooze. He was tired the entire 90 minutes. His eyes burned. He covered 2 pages instead of 12. But he showed up. And showing up on day 17 was worth more than any easy morning. On day 21st, he woke up at 5:47, 3 minutes before the alarm. He lay there and felt something unusual. Readiness. A quiet, low hum of purpose. He thought, this is mine now. This time is mine. He sat up. He went to the desk. He opened the textbook. He picked up the pen. He began. For the first time, it felt like home. Every morning he walked. The campus quiet at 7:30, wet grass, cold air, the sky going from black to gray to pale gold, his body waking up completely before his lectures began. He arrived to lectures now having already worked, having already moved, having already eaten. He sat in the front row. He had things to say. He was someone different. By the end of week 4, Elias had finished the entire remaining syllabus of data structures, 2 weeks ahead of the exam. Not more hours, better hours. His next quiz, an 84. He looked at the score for a long time. Not with disbelief. With recognition. He had done the work. He knew exactly why the score was what it was. He called his mother that evening. For the first time in a long time, he didn't have to perform cheerfulness. The cheerfulness was real. She could hear it across the distance. Daniel noticed at the library one afternoon. "You seem different," he said. "What changed?" Elias smiled and said something he hadn't planned. "I stopped studying when it was convenient." Daniel pulled out his notebook. "Tell me everything." And Elias, who had been the student 6 weeks ago, was now the one with something worth explaining. That too was a kind of transformation. His grades recovered. His scholarship was safe. But the private transformation was larger than any grade. He trusted himself now in a way he never had before. He kept his own word. The most private and significant moment came on a Saturday morning when he had no exam due. He sat at his desk at 6 a.m. anyway. Not because he had to, because this was the time when he was most himself. Clear-headed, capable, capable, focused. This was his best hour. This was the hour the old version of him had given to snoozing. He was done wasting what he was made of. He had done it with the same brain, the same schedule, the same apartment. The only thing that changed was the structure, and the structure changed everything downstream from it. This is mine. 6 a.m. is mine. No one takes this from me. Not a late shift, not a bad night, not a hard week. This is the hour where I become the student I always said I was. I don't negotiate with my mornings anymore. My structure is my identity. He sat down, opened his notebook, and began. At 6 a.m. on a Saturday, because this is who he is now. Elias's story is proof of something simple and uncomfortable. Your life can change. Not someday. Not when circumstances improve. Right now. With the same brain you have today. Here is your challenge. Step 1. Tonight, set your alarm for 6 a.m. Put your phone across the room. You have to stand up to turn it off. That is the first battle. Win it. Step 2. Choose your hardest subject. One subject only. Open it first thing at 6 a.m. and work on nothing else for 90 minutes. No music with words. No notifications. No multitasking. Step 3. Be in bed by midnight. Every night. This is not optional. It is the foundation everything else sits on. Stop treating midnight as early. Sleep is not your enemy. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. That is all. Do this for 21 days exactly as described and your academic life will not look the same. Drop "I am starting tomorrow" in the comments right now. Your future self is studying right now, at 6 a.m., in the quiet, while everyone else is still asleep. Go join them. The structure is waiting. The morning is waiting. You only have to begin.